Look, we need to talk about Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Honestly, if you ask me, this isn't just a movie about wizards. It is a documentary about the horrors of puberty and the absolute worst barber in the history of the United Kingdom. I mean, seriously, have you seen the hair in this film? It's distracting. Every single male character looks like they haven't seen a pair of scissors since the Chamber of Secrets. It's like the production team just forgot to hire a stylist and said, you know what, just let it grow. It's the 90s or something, whatever. But let's back up a second, because before we even get to the hair, we start with an old man making tea. I swear, nothing good ever happens in these movies when an old person is just trying to boil a kettle. You just know he's gonna die immediately. And he does. Boom! Voldemort is back, but he looks like a shriveled baby that's been left in the microwave too long. It's gross, it's weird, and frankly, it sets the tone for this entire mess of a year. So Harry wakes up from this nightmare, and suddenly we are at the Quidditch World Cup. Now listen to me, this is where I start getting mad. They hype this up so much. The stadium is huge, the Irish are dancing, the Bulgarians are frowning, it's a massive party. And then, nothing. We don't see the match. Literally, Fudge says, "Let the match begin," and then cut to black. Are you kidding me? That's like buying a ticket to the Super Bowl and being kicked out right after the national anthem. I feel robbed. But fine, whatever, let's move on to the actual plot. Hogwarts is hosting the Triwizard Tournament. Basically, it's the Olympics, but with a 90% chance of death and absolutely zero OSHA compliance. Safety regulations? Never heard of her. Then we meet the other schools. First, Beauxbaton. Okay, I have questions. Why do they enter the Great Hall sighing and dancing like they are in a perfume commercial? Is that their curriculum? Advanced Sighing 101? It's so extra. And then Durmstrang shows up, and it's just a bunch of angry dudes with sticks stomping around looking like they want to punch a wall. It's the ultimate gender stereotype smackdown. Girls are butterflies, boys are aggressive fire breathers. It's hilarious and kinda dumb. Now, let's talk about Dumbledore. Gambon's Dumbledore in this movie is completely unhinged. He has zero chill. In the books, he asks calmly. In the movie, he literally tackles Harry against a wall of trophies. "Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?" Like he's about to body slam a 14-year-old. It's the meme of the century for a reason. I don't know who directed him to act like he's on his 5th espresso of the morning, but it's wild. So, Harry is in the tournament. Of course he is. He's the main character. He can't just have a normal year studying algebra or whatever wizards study. Arithmancy? He has to fight dragons because the universe hates him. The first task is the dragon. Honestly, this part is cool. I can't hate on it too much, except for the fact that Harry's strategy is fly around and try not to die. It's valid, I guess, but seeing a teenager chased by a literal dinosaur across a castle is just another Tuesday at Hogwarts. But here is where the movie shifts into what I call the hormonal nightmare, the Yule Ball. Oh my God, the angst, the awkwardness. It is physically painful to watch. You have Ron Weasley, who turns into the biggest jerk on the planet because he doesn't understand his own feelings. He treats Hermione like a backup option, ruins her night, and sits in the corner sulking like a toddler. It's realistic, I'll give it that. Teenage boys are dumb. And Hermione, she looks stunning, obviously, but the whole drama is just so high school. He's using you. You're fraternizing with the enemy. Guys, please, it's a dance. Just drink your punch and do the waltz. Also, can we talk about the weird rock band, the Weird Sisters? It's just strange seeing wizards moshing. It feels like a fever dream. And poor Harry is just sitting there wishing he was fighting the dragon again, because at least the dragon was straightforward. Then comes the second task, the lake. This is nightmare fuel. They literally kidnap children, tie them up underwater, and tell the champions, "You have an hour or your friends are fish food." Excuse me? How is this legal? Where are the parents? If I sent my kid to boarding school and found out he was being used as bait for mermaids, I would sue the entire establishment. Dumbledore's just clapping on the dock like, "Ah, yes, drowning simulation. Excellent for character building." Harry, being the hero complex guy he is, saves not just Ron, but also the little French girl, and he gets points for moral fiber. What is this, a reality TV show? I like his vibe, give him second place. The scoring system is completely arbitrary. Then we have the maze, the final task. The vibe shifts from fun magic sports to The Shining real quick. The maze is alive, the wind is creepy, and Crumb is running around with bewitched eyes trying to blast people. And then Cedric. Look, I make jokes, but Robert Pattinson as Cedric Diggory was the golden boy. He was handsome, nice, fair. He was basically the guy you want to hate but can't because he's too perfect. So when they grab that cup and land in the graveyard, you know it's over. The tone drop is insane. We go from a sports movie to a horror movie in 3 seconds. Peter Pettigrew shows up carrying the ugly Voldemort baby. Kill the spare. That line chills me every time. It's so casual. Just like that, Cedric is gone. It's the moment the entire franchise stops being a kid's story. It's brutal. And then Voldemort gets his body back. Ralph Fiennes is terrifying, honestly. But also, he has no nose. I can't stop looking at it. He spends 10 minutes monologuing, touching Harry's face, and calling his Death Eaters out for being disloyal. It's a toxic workplace meeting from hell. The duel itself is iconic. The streams connecting, the ghosts coming out. It's emotional. Harry seeing his parents again, it breaks your heart. He's just a kid, man. He's 14. He shouldn't be dealing with this trauma. He escapes, brings Cedric's body back, and the scene where Cedric's dad realizes what happened, that wail, "That's my boy!" Absolute gut punch. If you don't feel something there, you are a robot. But then, of course, we have the reveal that Moody isn't Moody. It's Barty Crouch Jr., David Tennant licking his lips every 2 seconds. The guy is acting his heart out, playing a guy, playing another guy. It's confusing, but brilliant. Dumbledore saves the day again, but barely. They interrogate him, and we find out the whole year was a setup. Everything, the tournament, the dragon, the lake, it was all just an overly complicated plan to get Harry to touch a cup. Think about it. Voldemort is a drama queen. He could have just turned Harry's toothbrush into a portkey. Harry brushes his teeth, boom, graveyard. But no, we need a year-long tournament with spectators and merchandise. The movie ends on a super depressing note. Everyone is sad. The music is somber. Hermione puts her head on Harry's shoulder, and Dumbledore gives a speech about dark times ahead. Basically, Goblet of Fire is the turning point. It's the movie where the magic stops being whimsical and starts being dangerous. It's messy. The pacing is frantic. They cut out half the book, but somehow it still works. I think it works because it captures that chaotic energy of being a teenager. Everything feels like the end of the world. Bad hair, crushes, exams, and then suddenly the actual end of the world shows up. Would I watch it again? Absolutely. Just to laugh at the haircuts and cry at the ending. It's a roller coaster that flies off the rails, but you enjoy the crash. So yeah, that's Goblet of Fire. A mess of hormones, dragons, and bad decisions. But hey, at least we didn't have to sit through the Quidditch match, right? I'm still bitter about that.